It's another day in an uptrend, so Bitcoin is continuing to move up, and this is the most significant candle that we have seen so far because we have now finally swept the high that we set over 2 months ago in this trend. So a moment of silence for the bears that absolutely did not see this bounce coming off the most obvious fucking support level of this year, probably after $20,000, which is also incredibly obvious. We called both of these bounces. Do me a favor and smash up the fucking likes for that, ladies and gents, because we knew this was coming from since way back down here in the $17,000 range. Thank you all so much for the support. Now I want to tell you where I think we're going. We have done the hard parts. We've cleared all of our resistance. We're still within our uptrend. We are at the end of a very, very bullish week on the weekdays here. It is still possible for this to go wrong, obviously. You know, this doesn't have to stay this good. Things could go wrong here. However, we are off to a phenomenal start, and I am very much liking what I'm seeing. And now that we've actually broken above our resistance level, the question shifts to how deep into the $30,000 range are we going? So if we do take a look at the kind of resistance that we're facing here, again, the problem that I've been outlining with you guys on this chart is that the resistance in the $30,000 area is not easy to pin down. You know, other people might be talking about, you know, like very precise, like 33.2 or something like that or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, guys, if we just look at the price action that's taken place in this range, and it's only here. Oh, let me get my paintbrush. The only price action we've ever had in this range was here and here and here. This is it. We don't actually have that much to go off, right? It's not particularly easy to see where the resistance might be, and that makes it difficult to pinpoint exactly where we might have a problem. But we have a few ways that we can measure where the market might actually go, and one of my favorite ones is just going to be, you know, looking at our previous trend that we've already kind of pulled off, and then giving that, you know, and then putting that at our beginning to kind of extrapolate a target. So I've drawn this line for you guys. If you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, you're going to see that I've actually covered this with you guys previously. This was the length of our previous trend, and if we just take that from the very bottom that we set, this does give us a target at 36.3. And if we actually go ahead and change this onto the previous chart that I was using and just drop a line at 36.3, we'll actually just move this one down a couple $100. It does kind of line up with some levels that we know are important. I'm specifically looking at some of the candles that have bounced off this area, you know, a rejection like right here. I believe this is roughly around where Elon Musk bought Bitcoin as well publicly with Tesla or something like that. So, you know, this is definitely going to be an important level for the market, and it certainly is a possible resistance zone for Bitcoin. The thing I really like about this is it's still far away. You know, one of the things I was covering with you guys in a recent live stream was that, you know, as far as the places I'd be interested in buying Bitcoin again, you know, obviously 25K was a very, very obvious one, but also just getting above this resistance level. I mentioned to you, this would be an area that I would be interested in buying Bitcoin at. Now, that doesn't mean that it would be a smart idea. I'm just telling you what I would do. And the reason that I'm saying this is because until we get to the next, like, really significant areas of resistance, we still have some really nice moves to go. I'm still in the same long position that you saw me in previously. My profit is now higher than this. I don't actually have a new screenshot, but I do want to check it out live on video with you guys just to see where I am. I'll actually show it to you right now on my phone. But, you know, I am in a bigger profit than this right now. This was a 423% gain, but this screenshot was taken at a slightly lower price level. So I'm still riding in this position, and yeah, right there. I don't know if you can actually see this, but focus. We're not focusing here, but that is a $73,000 profit that I'm still in. I've already secured well over 100K. I've secured 130K in profits, and I've now got another 70K here, which is absolutely beautiful. And I'm still holding this position. I'm not going to be reducing this position until we hit some higher areas of resistance, because the fact that we've been able to skyrocket this high coming off such an important support level, you know, and now break our previous high, tells me that this market is still carrying a lot of strength. This is clearly one of those just fuck you moments for Bitcoin, where Bitcoin doesn't really care what you think or what you want. Bitcoin is just going to do what it wants to do. And right now, Bitcoin wants to pump. Bitcoin wants to take the staircase down and the fucking jetpack up, ladies and gents. And so that is absolutely beautiful. And what that means for us is that we do potentially have a lot more gas left in the tank, which, you know, is kind of hard for me to, you know, say, because we've already rallied up by so much, but you know, we've now broken the resistance level. I don't really see why the trend should slow down. We might, you know, just because we have approached this macro area of resistance. But again, for me, you know, a lot of the if we really look at this closely, a lot of the big moments of price action here, you know, that they've kind of only taken place above this yellow line. You know, like if we look at the kind of interactions, let's just really zoom in and understand how this market has interacted between this yellow line and this one here. You know, we've just gone all the way straight up here. We're on the daily time frame, so just took 2 days for the market to go all the way up to the next line, and then we came back down within a day, and then we went back up. So there's just, you know, with this price action alone, it's telling us exactly what we want to know, which is that Bitcoin covers this price range very quickly. Bitcoin goes from one of these levels to the next one incredibly quickly, which is exactly what we love to see here. The next time we came back to this area, within the same day, we went all the way down and all the way back up. So, you know, I mean, that's telling us more of the same. That's telling us exactly what we're looking for, which is that when we enter this range, we just zip straight up, potentially within a day, potentially, you know, and by the way, just based off your time zone, you know, we are looking at you know, the final, you know, day of trading for traditional finance in the United States. We are seeing some up candles here, albeit they are very strange up candles here, gapping down and then still rallying up a little bit. You know, and so there's quite a lot of time for this to happen, right? While US markets are open, we've still got another 4 hours for Bitcoin to cover some more ground. And a lot of this move, mind you, is happening incredibly quickly. It's only happened over the last kind of 2 hours here. And if we zoom in even further, it's really happening right now. We are in the move as we speak, ladies and gents, which is absolutely beautiful. The profit numbers just keep on ticking up. Again, 450% profit. I wish my camera would focus on it. I'd show it to you again, but I don't know. I'll have to throw up a screenshot on the next video. You know, so this is one of those things where I think there is still plenty of time for Bitcoin to continue to perform spectacularly well. And again, you know, within this price range, definitely just with what we've seen so far, just with this little bit of price action, it's very clear that when the market does enter this kind of range, it does just go all the way through the range. So we do have a few exceptions here with fake outs, but then we come back here and we're just all the way down, and then it only takes a few days to get all the way up, and then a few more days to get all the way down, and then a few days to get all the way up. So incredibly clear that, you know, at a worst case, you know, we're looking at only like 4 or 5 days to cover this range all the way up to the top, which again is another 10% move up. And that is an absolutely huge bit of price action. The trade that I just shown you guys, I did actually make here on Bybit, which you can join using the link in the description down below. I don't know what it is, guys. It's just been my experience. When I started trading on Bybit, my trading got better. A lot of other people have seen the same thing. You're probably not going to have the same, you know, result, but, you know, it's just one of those things that's happened. And the very cool thing is they are going to give you up to $30,000 in free trading ammunition. So, shout out to those of you that took advantage of this already. I've been telling you guys about this for an incredibly long period of time, and those of you that have actually gotten this cash are now playing with up to $30,000 of additional trading capital in this market, which is absolutely phenomenal. That is so much additional firepower to be given yourselves to trade with in this market. And as you know, any profits that you do generate are yours to keep as well, which is absolutely fantastic. BingX does not require KYC, and you can trade all of these markets in addition to Tesla, Forex, indices, commodities, and so on. So you can trade these markets on leverage, which is very, very cool. They're open right now. You can even trade them right now if you wanted to. Again, without a picture of yourself and without a picture of your ID. PrimeXBT is another exchange that doesn't require KYC. OKX and Bitflex all do not require KYC. It's a shame. It's only the best one that does, but anyway, it is what it is. So that is very, very cool indeed. That, you know, I mean, this is still confirming for us that it should be a nice quick rip up. You know, and if we look back to kind of summer of 2021, it's a similar picture. You know, just within 1 day, all the way down and all the way up, all the way down on this day here, all the way down and all the way up. Same picture here. Yes, we have a few fake outs, but these are nothing that I'm particularly concerned about. And then even when we're, you know, spending a long time in this range, we're still 1 day to go all the way down, 3 days to go all the way up, 1 day to go all the way down, 2 days to go all the way up. The picture is incredibly clear. And I know this is like almost sounding a bit weird with the way I'm doing analysis with you guys, but really all I'm trying to understand is we've got this price range. We've got 31K here and 34, 35K here. How quickly does the market close this gap? And it's clear. It's incredibly quick. On the way down, usually within a day or less. On the way up, only a few days. Even here, when we're going slowly, we're still covering this entire range within 10 days, just over a week. You know, just to move up by 10%. I mean, again, you know, if we put this in perspective with what we've kind of been dealing with within this market recently, this is incredibly strong. I mean, you know, just look at this, for example. When we set this high to get down to this low, this alone was 17 days. It took Bitcoin 10 days at its slowest to cover this range. I think that really goes some ways in telling you that this price range that we're potentially staring down the barrel of right now can be overcome very, very quickly. So big gains to be seen over there. Let's take a look at Bitcoin's dominance. I'm sure Bitcoin's dominance is still going to be just absolutely fucking crazy, which is beautiful. Obviously, this is what we were expecting. Yeah, 52% here, guys. I mean, altcoins are still moving up. Matic up by 5%. Cardano up by 4%. 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚 just fucking skyrocketing here, doing absolutely beautifully. So shout out to those of you that have been watching our 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚 analysis on the 𝗬𝗢𝗙𝗧𝗍 daily channel. It's always going to be the top link in the description. You can go ahead and check that out. That has been going phenomenally well. But despite all of that, Bitcoin is outperforming these coins. I mean, any of these coins, if you look at them against Bitcoin, are performing worse than Bitcoin across the board. There are exceptions. You've got Phantom here that's performing quite well, and of course 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚, but 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚 doesn't really count as too small of a coin. But there are definitely some exceptions, but overall, we are seeing Bitcoin's dominance continue to climb up, and I don't think that's a surprise. And this is just one of those things that continues to show us that the confidence right now is behind Bitcoin. The confidence is where Bitcoin is, and that, I think is going to be one of those things that really contributes to some really, really nice opportunities across the Bitcoin space, and of course, across the altcoin space, because one of the things that we really need to consider is that if Bitcoin is performing this well, eventually it's going to be Ethereum typically that steals the limelight. Right now, Ethereum hasn't even swept its high. Ethereum is lagging so far behind right now, and the Ethereum Bitcoin price is showing that. Ethereum has just been dying against Bitcoin, really, over the last little bit. It's lost kind of 13% of its value over the last 2.5 weeks here against Bitcoin. So clearly, and this is the thing, is when you see Bitcoin's dominance going up, what this means is that anyone holding altcoins is losing right now. You would be making more money if you were in Bitcoin, and it's been that case since November of 2022. Every time the market turns shit, if you are in altcoins, you are losing out. Bitcoin has gained 30% dominance in this time frame. These numbers might not seem big to you, but take it from me as someone that eats, sleeps, breathes, and shits Bitcoin, a 30% Bitcoin dominance gain is absolutely huge. This is really the kind of time that you want to be in Bitcoin. And if you're not in Bitcoin already, obviously one might argue that it's too late. I certainly don't think so. I think Bitcoin may continue to rally for quite some time. And then the next thing that I think is going to happen is that Ethereum will steal the spotlight, right? Right now it's Bitcoin, but here's the thing. Why is Bitcoin rallying up? Again, if you're subscribed, you're going to know this very, very well. Just let me know if you remember me talking about all this stuff, because I've been warning you about this non-fucking stop over the last few weeks, which is that let me know if you do know what I'm about to talk about in the comment section. Just say I know what you're talking about. Is the S&P 500, the NASDAQ index, and so on. These indices have been performing incredibly well over these last few weeks. And so what I've been telling you guys about extensively is that when you're making money within these safe markets, the only thing you want to do when you start feeling greedy is you want to make more money. You want to take on additional risk to make more money. And what's riskier than the S&P 500? Individual stocks. You go into the individual stocks like Tesla, you go into the individual stocks like Apple, which is now at an all-time high. And once you're done with that and you've made your money there, you're going to take even more risk. You're going to look at Bitcoin. When you've made your money on Bitcoin, you're going to take even more risk with Ethereum. Then you're going to go to the altcoins. And what that means is you just keep on riding this wave up and down of these coins, of these assets, where you're basically just, it's not even up and down, it's just up and then more up and then more up, because you're just trading the same idea over and over in different markets, one after the other. And when you look at the market this way, you're making your life really easy. A lot of people unnecessarily overcomplicate their lives in these markets, but it really is very unnecessary. You don't need to do this kind of thing. You can keep it very simple and still make a lot of money, and that's exactly what I'm bringing to the table when I'm showing you guys the kind of trades that I'm making. Again, this trade that I ripped right here on Bybit. And those of you that are inside of the 𝗬𝗢𝗙𝗧𝗍 VIP group, you are continuing to get updates on all of the positions that I'm considering taking. The evolution of that, the exact entries I'm taking, the stop losses, targets, and so on and so forth. Everything is being shared inside of the 𝗬𝗢𝗧𝗍 VIP group. And probably the best thing about it is those of you that do join VIP, most of you are getting my 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗧 Academy course for free. And that's the A to Z course on everything I know about trading and analysis. And, if you haven't gone through that kind of thing already, again, it is almost too late now. The volatility is here. This is what you should have been preparing for, but it never is too late. There's always going to be a million more opportunities in the market. And right now we're only seeing Bitcoin. I mean, yes, these altcoins are moving up nicely, but the spotlight is very much on Bitcoin right now. So, we haven't even seen these opportunities come for Ethereum and the smaller coins yet, which means there is still a lot more to pick up. There is still a lot more to enjoy. And again, to be able to have just over $100,000 in bonuses, up to $30,000 in just straight trading ammunition to throw into the market is insane. This is, a free $30,000 trade you can put into the market. If you make 10% profit on it, you can withdraw $3,000. It's absolutely crazy. And all you need to do is, make your deposit and start trading. And that is it. When you use this link down below, you will get this bonus of up to 30k, which is very, very cool. Now, I do want to divert your attention over to the dollar index before we go back to Bitcoin's price and the targets that I'm holding for it. The dollar index has rallied up by a little bit, yet Bitcoin does not care. Bitcoin remains unfazed, which is one of the best things I can tell you about Bitcoin right now, to be quite honest with you guys. The fact that the dollar index has performed like this and Bitcoin has still been moving up is a very strong sign of Bitcoin's strength. Bitcoin is basically moving in and of its own kind of strength basically right now. That didn't make any sense. Bitcoin is moving with its own strength right now. It's not trying to find strength from other places right now. It is standing on its own incredibly strong. So that is a very, very good sign. And if we do actually just come back to this chart and talk a little bit more about the targets that we could be expecting, because right now it is all about targets. Yeah, I mean, you know, 36.3, like I said, is another potential area. For me, I'm going all the way up to 40. You know, I've said this since the very beginning. I mean, 40k is more of a psychological area. I think the key level is going to be like 42, 41, something a little bit like around here. Yeah, 41.2 is a really nice kind of middle ground, I would say, for these kind of areas. And I'm just going to make this line a little bit. We're just going to change the color. You know, so that's kind of, you know, the top level that I've been expecting literally since we were down at $17,000. So that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye on, I think, for my kind of big target. But we do have a few more resistance levels in between. I think just for now, it should be pretty easy to get up to 34.5. Let's talk about the possibilities of this going wrong. I mean, you know, it could be a fake out. Bitcoin's love language is deviations, as we know incredibly well. We had a phenomenal deviation right here. If I actually, that's not the correct line. If I actually go ahead and draw a line that looks a little bit like this, we had this really, really nice support area, and then we formed this deviation and then came right back up. So, you know, we could be looking at doing something a little bit like this, where we found resistance here, we clear resistance, we form a deviation up here, something a little bit like this, and then we come back into the trend, right? And that is still definitely possible. It is something I'm going to keep an eye on. I think one of the things that can help us determine if that is going to happen is the 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗧𝗓 dashboard here, and looking at some of our ratings here. So we are at a reading of 65 on the Fear and Greed Index. So we are pretty bullish now. We're definitely getting into areas that, you know, this is going to get dangerous in. We are in greedy territory. We're only a few points away. We're probably only 1 point away from extreme greed, and this is going to update in 7.5 hours. So we're probably going to see a big jump up on the Fear and Greed Index here. I guess one of the things that I'm really happy about is that Binance retailers, these guys, you know, are still majority short, and I mean, I struggle to see why you would be majority short. Maybe you've got some sort of crystal ball that I'm not seeing, but Bitcoin has been bullish as far as I'm concerned since 17k. It's certainly been bullish since 25k. But when the price was around over here, all of the Binance retail traders started to go short. And that's exactly why I think we've seen such a nice big rip to the upside. So the numbers are still in our favor. Even though the Fear and Greed Index is getting pretty high, the long and short ratio is still very much in our favor. And it is very much telling me that this market has a lot more juice to go. So I am very, very happy indeed to be seeing that. That is definitely going to be giving me some more confidence here. But like I said, deviation definitely possible, right? I mean, it is something that we kind of have to learn to expect for Bitcoin. I can't see why it would happen. I don't know what it would achieve. The long and short ratio literally tells me that it doesn't need to happen right now. But maybe when this updates in the next kind of 7.5 hours, I think it updates at the same time. Maybe when this updates, you know, that's going to give us a clearer image. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see until those data do come out. But I think for now, yeah, we are just looking at, you know, I mean, just being aware of that deviation risk, not necessarily being concerned or worried about it, but just staying aware, you know, and then, yeah, I mean, if we are able to kind of get up to these kind of resistance areas, a pullback would also be nice. This is kind of the best case scenario, right? We want to clear this area with some decent headroom and then come back down. If we can come back down and find support, that is it. I mean, that's the moonshot. This bounce right here would be the same as this bounce right here, which was the same as this bounce right here. And all of these things are the beautiful manifestation of our lows getting higher within our trend, and very clearly now our highs getting higher within our trend as well. We have now set a new higher high today. So congratulations, guys. If you didn't lose perspective here, if you didn't take some brash decisions that were stupid because of this 2-month range, you are among the people, and there aren't very many of you, you are among the people that have made money and kept your money within this range. A lot of people were shaken out in this range. I was speaking to them. I know them. They sold their Bitcoin off here thinking of a, lower Bitcoin entry level, and fair enough. I understand that thinking thinking process and why they would do it. But ultimately, let's be clear about what happened. They just got thrown off by 2 months of pulling back, and this is why my job and what I felt so compelled to do on this YouTube channel throughout this time period was just to keep zooming you guys back out and keep reminding you. And the catchphrase of this YouTube channel was nothing has changed. Guys, actually do me a favor, if you're this far into the YouTube video, write this in the comments. Write down nothing has changed. I want to know how many of you guys were actually paying attention to this, because that was probably the number one thing I was telling you guys while we were slowly trending down. It doesn't, this is the thing that people don't get, is that it doesn't matter how slowly we do something. If nothing has changed, then nothing has fucking changed, bro. And this is the thing that I think, people just keep on missing. Again, I'm going to say it again. If nothing has changed, it doesn't matter how slow things are going. If nothing has changed, then nothing has changed. and this is really, really hard for people to kind of get deep into their head, right? We were trending up, we set a high, we were heading down to a major support level, and even if it's taking time, the environment isn't different. We're still in an uptrend and we're still correcting. The environment was constant. Nothing had changed. It's simple enough, and that's why I keep on saying it. And if you were able to keep it in mind, you wouldn't have been shaken out by this kind of range. Now, this is the thing, is if you mess this up, this is where you learn your lessons. This doesn't have to be the end of your life. I mean, I've done this kind of mistake a million times in my life, way more times than I would like to admit to you on camera. And the difference is I just learned. I just learned from my mistakes, and I didn't keep on repeating them. And that's why I'm able to trade the way I am now, with what is basically one of the biggest profits I've ever pulled off in my life, and I'm only able to pull this kind of thing off because I'm paying attention to the things that work. I'm paying attention to the things that actually work in this market. So if you do appreciate that, then yeah, do me that favor. Make sure you are subscribed, hitting up the likes, smashing that bell icon as well, and all that good stuff. Again, you have over $100,000 in bonuses using the links in the description down below. Take advantage of it. This is free money that these exchanges are giving you to trade with, and all sorts of other bonuses like that. Again, BingX, no KYC, super, super flexible. Great to have these options. You don't know when any of these other exchanges are going to implement KYC. It could happen just like that at the drop of a hat, and you are dead in the water if you haven't prepared for it, if that is something that you are concerned about. So it is amazing to be able to have these opportunities to just set yourself up now. And again, to be able to trade these other markets like Tesla and Apple on leverage just with a Bitcoin deposit is a bit fucking crazy, ladies and gents. So I'm definitely down for that. And like I said, Bybit for me has been, hopefully always will be, the best exchange in the crypto space. I've been using them for years. I absolutely love them. Check them out with the link down below. You will get up to $30,000. Again, it's just free trading ammunition. You can do whatever you like with that capital, and if you do generate any profits with it, those profits are yours to keep as well. So there you go, ladies and gents. I really do hope you have enjoyed this video. You know what to do if you have, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you subscribe to the 𝗬𝗙𝗧𝗍 Daily channel right here with the top link if you do want to get the rest of my analysis on the altcoin market after this video. And here are the steps to join VIP. It puts you in a direct chat with me. These are the steps on screen. Here you go. I'll leave you with that. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.